All right. Good evening, everyone. Let us know if you can hear us okay. If there's any sound problems, we've got like headphones because we're a little unsure about the outdoor thing. If there's any problems at any point, just pop in the chat so that we know and we can reconfigure. So thank you so much for hopping on tonight. I'm really excited to talk with you guys about this event. Myself, Bjorn, Angela, and I think Josh Salzman are going to share a little bit about what we've been chatting about the last few days. And I'll tell you that we have just some like bare bones mapped out for this event, but what we have kind of as far as like structure goes and goals and intentions and things like that, along with our ideas for the actual content, which we haven't fleshed out yet, but we will. All of that is real good, you guys. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for joining and taking time out of your super busy schedules to just be here with us so that you can hear about what we're going to do in October and participate, be engaged, and really just go out and make an impact and build our businesses. Those are our goals. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen. I've got a little presentation, or not, what's so formal. I've got a little slideshow just because of that visual is helpful, I think, at least. Get it started, and we will just kind of start sharing here what this event is going to be about. Okay, so what is this event going to be about? Let's dig in. So first off, I'm going to tell you what we're calling this. We're going to call it Taking a Cue from Optavia. They set the bar for us, or they set the kind of like vision for us. And as we talked through what we envisioned for a really big scale, kind of like haven't done it before community event here in the Twin Cities, we decided there are a lot of different things that fall under the umbrella of what we want to accomplish and what we want to do for people and with people, but that it all really does fall under that umbrella of raising the bar. I think it was brilliant the way that Nick shared that out with us at convention. For those of you who weren't there, it was a really, really awesome call to action to, you know what, go back and make an impact, but do just even a little bit more. Raise the bar for yourself. Like, believe that you can do X and raise it to Y, right? Like, up the ante. And I think that we all are capable of that because we're better together. And so the idea with this event is that it's an evening of hope and transformation. We're going to talk about that, what it looks like. So first, our agenda tonight. What is this event? I'll just read through this quick and we're going to talk on all of these. Why the heck are we here? Where did this idea come from? Magical Orlando is the answer. We'll tell you a little bit more about that. What is this idea? What is the plan? And then numbers 4 and 5 are where we kind of get into the nitty gritty. How is this going to impact my clients? Why do they even want to be there? How is this going to impact me and my business? Why do I even want to be there? We're going to tell you all of that good stuff. And then we're going to cover a couple important details and next steps for the event. So we want to talk about what happens after the event. And then we're going to talk about what happens after tonight.
You know what I just noticed is that the date is 10/10. It almost looks like 10 out of 10.
I know.
So it's like 100%.
I know.
But if we really wanted to raise the bar, it would be 11 out of 10. So we're doing it a month early, but that's okay.
It's funny he said that because we didn't even go through this at all together. And I actually, at one point, I thought I put 10, 10, 19 because I thought that. I was like, it looks like 10 out of 10 versus the date, but it's the date. And it's 10 out of 10 because killing it. We're going to do a really good job with this. I'm really excited. And not because us, because this community and because the offering that we have. So I'm super excited. Literally got distracted by a squirrel.
A dark squirrel.
Sorry. All right. We're a little loopy. It's 8 o'clock and we're tired at 8 o'clock. So, all right. What are we doing here? So I'm going to talk a little bit about why, okay? I actually have this written down and I want to read it to you verbatim. Why are we doing this? So this is our goal and our why. We want to bring the heart, soul, and vibe of convention to Minnesota. And we want to add value for every person's journey and build our businesses and grow our impact by building a strong community. That's our why. Angela's going to talk a little bit about how we got here, and she's going to touch a little bit on that piece about how impactful convention was for those of us who were there, and those of you who weren't, we really missed you. But we want to kind of bring some of that power of convention to you. And so that's what we're setting out to do. So ultimately, obviously, we know we want to grow our businesses, but we want to make an impact in the world. That's why we decided to coach. I've done a lot of Coach Explorers in the 2.5, 3 years I've been coaching. Well, it's 2.5, it'll be 3 years and whatever. But by far, the number one reason that people decide they want to coach is they want to help people. And there might be other reasons that people share. Certainly, there's always other reasons: finances, accountability for my own health journey, all of that. But I don't know that I've done a Coach Explorer yet where the person did not say, I want to do this because I want to help people. And helping and serving are really what we're about. Like Bjorn's going to touch on that. Service to mankind is one of our habits of transformational leadership. So that's a huge part of what we do, but none of that can be accomplished outside of community. So we want to grow, we want to make an impact, we want to help, we want to serve, but community is where it happens. And community building, I think in the experiences that I've had, community building is the element that sets us apart from everyone else. And so after a dramatic, or at the beginning of a dramatic health transformation, you don't have to be at the end of your journey, as we all are fully aware. You can be 5 days in, like me, and realize that this is transformational and decide to coach. But after, that piece, the transformational piece, the next thing that makes the biggest difference for people's passion and people's desire to be, a part of this movement is the community. So what we want to do is we want to offer an opportunity to inspire people, but also to build community. So building community is going to be a big goal of this event, or, just being in community is a big goal of this event. But we're going to talk about how coming out of this event, continuing to build community is going to be part of the action steps. We're not going to just leave people like, rah, rah, like that was super feel good. And now what? We don't want to do that. We want to give them a place to plug into. And that's going to be a really important part of what we do with this event. And we all know that as our community grows, our business grows and our impact grows, right? So I really believe that community, the specialness, that's not a word, I know,
Special
but
sauce
that
is a word.
is what makes the specialness of the community is what makes Optavia so magical and so powerful. And that's what a lot of us experience at convention. So with that, I'm going to pause my screen share here because I'm going to toss it over to Angela. I got to find her and I'm going to let her, so go ahead and take yourself off mute, and I'm going to let you share, Angela, a little bit about where the heck did this video, I'm looking at the word video, where the heck did this idea come from? So take it away.
Oh, don't go away, Josh. Don't go away.
Moving the dog out.
Come back. All right. Well, I have been really fortunate to be at 3 national Optavia events, but this was my first convention. And for those of you who were there, it was awesome hanging out with you. And for those of you who are not, mark it on your calendars for next year, because it is definitely a life-changing event. Anytime you are around 12,000 people who are focused on making themselves better so that they can pour into the people they love most in their communities, it's obviously an unbelievable experience. So again, mark your calendars. I'll say it a third time, mark your calendars. But a year is way too long to wait to get that experience. And so on the Saturday of convention, Liz and Bjorn and I had lunch outside in the really, really hot Orlando heat. But apparently instead of frying our brains, it really lit a fire under us, because we decided we needed to bring this experience to people in Minnesota, and we needed to continue the momentum throughout the year. And we really it was a pretty dynamic group, let's be honest here, but we really realized that we felt an obligation to show everyone here how Optavia provides the means and platform to achieve great dreams and goals so that you can impact others. And like Liz said, the community piece is what sets our program apart, and we want to use our convention experience to, fill our cups so that we can pour into others, including our coaches, our clients, and the community around us. So, at convention, we spent 3 days learning how to listen and connect and care about people, and it was never about sales or products. It was all about making yourself have daily healthy habits so that your routine is kind of just the best it can be, so you can focus on improving others. And I think that what we really circle back to is the best way to improve yourself and those around you is to make a community event like this a number one priority and just make it a rock in your schedule.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I am not entirely sure. Yep, there we go. Zoom is tricky, guys. I'm not going to lie. Now, how do I?
Right click.
I do this fine most of the time. All right. There we go.
There we go.
Sorry about that. I'm going to actually switch back over. Thank you guys so much, Josh and Angela. That was super, just really clarifying about how we got here. And now we want to talk about where we're going now that we're here. So we'll go back to our slides and move on. It's really slow. There we go.
All right. So, like Angela said, you know, the whole convention, I've said this to many of you, but there was not one mention of any of the products, not one mention of sales. All the talk was about improving yourself and developing skills that you can use to impact other people's lives and make the world better. The first session was presented by Dr. A, and his title was "It Matters." It matters what we do with this business because health is important, and this is making an impact not just in the United States, but in the world now with the expansion into Hong Kong and Singapore and beyond in the future. So that was very impactful to recognize that Optavia, the healthy, the habits of transformation are a system of which only one part is the actual weight loss. And yet that is the only piece of that the company makes any money on. So clearly this company isn't about the money. This company is about changing lives, impacting lives, and making the world healthier. And one of the sessions, I think it was the one right before we had this brainstorm idea, was talking about their philanthropic initiative called Healthy Habits for All, where they're encouraging people on a specific day or specific month to really start some ground level initiatives to just change the habits of health in your community. Not necessarily sign people up to be clients or coaches, but get into schools, give some education to kids, do some public awareness on health and nutrition and that kind of thing. So that was pretty cool to hear that passion from this company and see really what the heart of the leaders is all about. And that's what we want to bring back. I think that really motivated us to say, this is what we're doing is important. And, as a doctor, and Liz said, you guys are in it because most of you want to help somewhere. That's what you've said. That's probably the number one reason why people give why they wanted to become a doctor. And, to be honest, you guys in this group is probably making more of an impact than I ever will, patching people up after their poor choices and bad decisions. So what we want to do is bring this passion back to Minnesota, to you guys who weren't able to attend, to hopefully motivate you to raise the bar, whether it's in your coaching business, whether you're a client and this is just going to spur you on to more transformation, or maybe if it's a pre-client or someone who's maybe not even considering this, to really get on board with this. And if nothing else, join the community. And maybe that will lead to a decision in the future. That's what we come away with from convention, is just this passion and this energy and motivation. And we don't want that to die out. We want to keep that going. So what is the plan? Wait for it. Wait for it.
I pressed the button.
Did you click here? Try it again.
Sorry, guys.
Try it now. There we go. So what we want to do is coordinate a large-scale community event. What do we mean by large scale? Well, there's 25 people on this Zoom right now. I think we can, what do you think, like 10 times that maybe? Is what we would, what our goal would be, 250 people. And I think that's possible. Yeah. What we have thought about is reserving a big social room, a banquet hall at a country club that we're members of, the Delwood Country Club, that can hold up to 275 people. We'd like to start, this will be an evening. This won't be a 3-day event. This will be kind of an extended evening event. We'll start with a little social hour. People can mingle, get to know each other a little bit, have some sort of a catered dinner that hopefully will be Lean and Green compliance, just to emphasize some of the tasty recipes that you can still enjoy when you're on program. And then move into a dynamic program that, we have several ideas for this, maybe even a few surprises that might add a little bit of a personal touch to bring some of the passion from convention back to Minnesota. And what we want to do is add value. This is going to be an event that you're going to want to attend, and that you're going to want your coaches and your clients to attend, and that hopefully will be an event that people who don't even know what this is all about will want to attend, that there's going to be something in it for everyone. We want to start by laying the foundation. This matters. It matters what we're doing, and highlight even some of the specific issues that we're dealing with in our local communities, and then progress through the evening to really lead people through this, to recognize there's a problem and then get motivated to do something about it. And then hopefully give some opportunities for engagement so that you can leave with a plan and with some ideal next steps. Like most things in life, this isn't going to be free. However, Liz and I are in a position with business that we feel this is going to add value to us. It's going to definitely add value to all of you, and we don't even know who's going to be impacted by this. And we really want to take this as an opportunity to help support this event and not make people pay full price. So we're willing to subsidize this, and we're looking at right now probably a ticket of about $20 a person for the social hour, the meal, the whole event. And we want this to be high quality. We want to raise the bar here. This isn't just going to be a couple people kind of ad hocing, spur of the moment transformation stories, maybe a few PowerPoint slides kind of thing. This will be something that will be polished and that will be worth the price that people will pay to attend. So that's where we're at with what the plan is. And now Liz is going to talk a little bit more about what it means.
And one thing I just want to add really quick, as far as just the whole scope of this plan or this event and what we want to provide is, I want you all to consider this to be an opportunity for you to plug people into something that is an opportunity, right? We are so much better together, and not one of us could do this on our own. But together we can create something really, really powerful. And so I just want to encourage you to just kind of lean into that piece of it. The fact that it is a powerful opportunity. Like Angela said, we don't want to wait a year to bring people to something impactful. But we want to just, let's see here. Oh, sorry, reading the chat. So we don't want to wait a year. We want to provide something, and that's what we're going to do. And so it's a good opportunity, and I hope that you guys will lean into it as such. So
we're going to get into some more details here.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be all vague.
Nope. We're just kind of laying the foundation. So, okay, what is in this for? So we have this event, right? Social hour, dinner, program. Why should I come? We're going to talk about that. Why should your clients come? First, we're going to talk about that. So when we kind of chatted through what is this? Why are we doing it? Who are we doing it for? We decided to kind of think through, okay, who are we doing this for? Who is our target market? And I am a marketing major, so I am the geek who decided we needed a target market. But I also think that it's really important because we don't want this to be like a vague, like, oh my gosh, come to this thing. It's super cool. Like, just trust me. Like, you'll enjoy it. It'll be fun. It'll be inspiring. No, we want to target who needs what we have to offer. Just like we do with our health assessments and offering our trilogy to people who need healthy mind, body, finances. And we want to be really specific about who we are for. But even in our being specific, we also will be broad in the sense that the content that we're going to cover and the program that we're going to provide is going to, it's going to speak to everyone. So it's like we're broad and we're narrow, right? And so people will all come with a different kind of primary need, but I also think that everyone who comes can use or will benefit from all of what we're offering. I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit tricky to explain and put into words, but let me explain to you who we're for. We are for anyone who is defeated in their health, discouraged in their finances, disillusioned in their community, and disappointed in their purpose. That's who we want. That's who we want to be at this event. And quite honestly, like I said, I think every person on the planet like falls into one of those categories. But, and quick time out, interrupt myself, but we're going to provide all of this for you. We are going to give you everything. We're going to give you who is this for. We're going to give you words to invite people. So you literally have like a script for if I'm talking to someone who needs finances, what do I say to them? You know, that kind of thing. We're going to give you all of that. But hold on one sec, let me just finish. Because we have, on the one hand, we have our target market, but then on the other hand, we have what we're going to add, what value we're going to add for each of those people. So if you're someone who's defeated in your health, we're going to provide a program that transforms. If you're someone who's discouraged in your finances, we're going to talk about a vehicle for achieving your dreams. If you're disillusioned in community, you've come to the right place. We've got a community to connect to, and that's going to be probably the number one primary piece that we pull from this, because the more plugged in people are, the more likely they are to walk that transformational journey out. And then fourth, if you're disappointed in your purpose, we're going to give you an opportunity to give back, and that's going to look like potentially paying it forward, because we know how rewarding and fulfilling it is. So that'll be a transformational story that we share. But it's also going to look like healthy habits for all. And that's going to be a piece that comes from this, is that, you know, if Optavia thinks it's important enough to share healthy habits with, you know, people who may not otherwise come across them, if they think that's important, then we think that's important too. And so we're going to kind of brainstorm on that. If you have any ideas, let me know. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, this is an event that I think your goal, and we'll emphasize this more, should be to invite all of your coaches and all of your clients, and then think about who else might benefit from this too, and what other venues you can market this to. But you know, we want everyone to be a part of this so that they catch some of this passion and this vision and get motivated to raise the bar in their own lives.
Yep. And so I just want to touch really quick on what it is and what it isn't. First, I'm going to say what it isn't, because I just feel like it's important for us to be really clear in terms of just giving everyone an understanding of what we're trying to accomplish. But again, like, you know, what we don't want to come across as, or want it to come across as. So first off, we don't want this to be an event where we throw up a Facebook invitation and then we just walk away. And the way we've done healthy happy hours in the past, we've kind of like gone down the middle. We don't just throw it up and walk away. But, you know, sometimes we kind of put it out there, forget about it. Maybe we tell our clients, you know, that sort of thing. What we're not going to do is put up a Facebook event. We may or may not have a Facebook event page. I don't know if we will or not. We might not. If we do have a Facebook event page, what it's not going to be is 1,000 people invited, 2 people attending, because that's just weird and gross. And this is something that, this is a really key, I think, point of to know, to keep in mind and to be aware of as we go forward with this, that this event hinges, it like is made
or broken, made or braked
on personal one-by-one single invitations. And so we might put out a blanket invitation, but if we do, that'll probably even be a little bit down the road once we've got a bunch of people coming, because people come when they know that there's value and they know that they're wanted. And so again, we'll talk about all of that, but I just want to kind of share that up front, that whether or not this is successful, 100% hinges on each of us reaching out one by one to our clients. And this is why we're going to provide you with the verbiage, because we want to make it easy. We want to make it super simple to call up your clients, and on your weekly calls, call up the people you've done health assessments with and say to them, like, hey, we have this event coming up. I really want you here. Here's why I think that you would love it. Are you able to join us on October 10th? And that one by one is going to be what builds this event. And part of what that came out of is reflecting on our pool party that we had on Thursday, which was so fun. We missed you if you weren't there. We had a great turnout. It was so fun. But I tell you what, that wasn't just like an overnight, like, hey, do you guys want to like come to this thing? And I'm like, healthy happy hour, and it's like a pool party. Like, that was almost 3 years of time of our community growing one by one by one. And so I think we can build a great event in a short amount of time. I'm not saying it takes 3 years to get 25 people in one room, but my point is that, from the very beginning, community and building community was one of my primary goals and desires. And it has taken many people being excited about what we're doing to invite individual people to join us. And that's what this event will be as well. It isn't, this is kind of I don't know if you're going to understand what I mean here, but I think you might. This is not an icky, like, reach your potential self-help seminar. A lot of the content and topics that we're going to kind of be hitting on could, if we took it the wrong direction, if we kind of weren't wise and discerning and thoughtful about our presentation and our invitation, could come off as an icky health or self-help seminar.
Tony Robbins knockoff.
We're not Tony Robbins. But at the same time, like, Tony Robbins is kind of cool and he is fantastic, and what he does is what we do. But we do it in a really different way. We do it one by one in relationship and empowering people. And so what we're not going to put, reach your potential or anything like that. That's why we're talking like raise the bar. And this is about your health and your wellness and your, holistic life picture, but it's not going to be an icky, weird self-help seminar. And it's also not going to be a room of strangers being lectured at or a sales pitch. And I think it's really important to know that. But
I think that, the goal of this night isn't necessarily to overtly come out and get people to sign up to coach or to be a client. We want to engage people, show them that we're genuine, and invite them into our community. And then through that process, hopefully they'll see some value in what we're doing and maybe get excited about something. But our intent is not to use this as a vehicle to sign up a whole bunch of people.
And what it is it's a community of people who just care about one another and want to help and serve and spur each other on. And it's also going to be a call to action for building community, improving our health, taking our health to the next level, making our habits healthier was a thought that Angela had, kind of an idea or like a direction to go. So it's going to be all of those things. So what we're going to talk about now is that, kind of speaks to what the value for our clients is, but what's the value for us as coaches? So my belief on this point is that big events move the needle forward, period. Like, there's just no arguing with that fact. I've been to so many events. I come out of them so excited. And one of the challenges is, sorry, we're getting a little funky in our light here. So sorry, we're a little orange, but, one of the challenges is taking that excitement and emotion and passion and channeling it into structure, channeling it into action, channeling it into discipline, right? Because when Monday comes and it's like real life, it's hard. But at the end of the day, even though we kind of like contend for that piece, at the end of the day, the needle moves forward because it just makes a difference when we come together in community. Our businesses grow when individual people are strongly intrinsically motivated, and that's what events help us to do. The other thing the point I want to make, and this is why I was saying earlier that this is a great opportunity for all of us, is that the heavy lifting is done. We're going to take the emotion out of convention and turn it into something tangible, right? So something that is going to, again, move the needle forward, but also be a place where we can bring people. It's only less than 2 months away. And so when we're kind of still riding that high of like going into this base camp, boot camp, and feeling really excited about what's happening within this movement that we're a part of, we don't have to say like, oh my gosh, it's just really amazing. Like, you just have to trust me. We can say, I had an incredible experience at this event that I was at in July. We're actually going to be putting something on in October that's going to be kind of similar, and I would love for you to join us there. You don't have to take my word for it. One of the things that I want to, kind of be upfront about is that we can't measure the impact of this event. We know that big events move the needle forward, but it's not quantifiable. It just isn't. I mean, I suppose if you were really smart and had a lot of time and were super like able to analyze like everybody's like every single action, like maybe you could quantify it. But, at the end of the day, we may or may not be able to say like, we did this event and my business grew like this much because of it. But what we do know is that we will get out of it what we put into it. And so the more people that you bring, the more impact you're going to have, the more impact the event is going to have on your business, the more your impact in, mankind is going to increase as you help people to tap into this kind of special time that we're going to have together.
And just to be clear, we're not making money on this either. This is every person you invite is going to cost us more money. And we feel it's that important that we want to support this and make this event happen.
Yeah. We're making an investment because we think it's important for all of you to have this opportunity. When I started from scratch, and you guys don't have to do that. And we don't want it to be setting a precedent where you feel like you have to put on a huge event at some point in time. Like, that's why we get to all work together, right? And so we're kind of heading this one up, and maybe down the road you'll want to head something up yourself, but you don't have to. We want to kind of partner together to provide something for people that really makes a difference for their journey, and especially with the habits of
There's too many healthy habits.
There's too many transformations. There's transformational leadership and
habits of transformation.
Hot Six, and there's our new system that just came out that I can't think of the name of. But this time is a really opportune time to put something out there that people can plug into both the community, this event, and also we can kind of tie it into the new transformational stuff we've got going on. The other thing that I want to mention here too is that there will be more to come on this, but one of our big goals coming out of this event is having more opportunities for community. So Bjorn and I are going to kind of lead the charge on that by offering quarterly trainings for our group here in the cities. We want to get together more regularly and do trainings, do what we need to do, but we also want to get together socially. So both of those things, we're going to head up the quarterly trainings. We might ask for collaboration and heading up some of the socials just to figure out what that looks like, how often, all of that stuff. But we want to have that out there for people to participate in. But then the other piece is that we want to ask for your partnership in building really dynamic, small community events. So there's going to be opportunity to commit to doing your own healthy happy hours, or just commit to even partnering with a couple of coaches in your same city or same area so that we can regularly be in community. There are enough people in this, kind of community now where it doesn't make sense for us to have a big client event, but it does make a lot of sense for us to have a bunch of smaller client events. And so I just want to put that bug in your ear to be thinking about like what your contribution to that might be, because again, it's for you, it's for your business, it's for who you impact, but we are all together. The sum of the parts, the sum of the parts is greater than the whole, whatever, that saying. All together, we make something way bigger than we ever could by ourselves.
And that's going to be the action step for people who want to get more engaged and more involved, is plug them into one of these smaller communities for that ongoing community engagement and support.
Okay, I'm going to move on. We're going to get into some, man alive, you'd think I never ran a computer before. All right, what do you need from me and what happens after this event? So we're going to talk about what happens after our event in October, and then after that, we're going to talk about what happens after tonight, but I want to kind of give you the full picture of October. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's bodies and seats, right? Just like when we dive into coaching and we want to make an impact and we want to build something really awesome, the name of the game is health assessments. The name of the game for this event is bodies and seats. And so we want to partner together to make that happen, to build this up to be a really powerful event with a lot of people being impacted.
What would be super cool is if we actually had to start limiting the attendance because we had too many people that wanted to attend.
And I don't think that that's a far stretch, because my thought process is we've put on some pretty, and I want to thank Sarah because she's spearheaded some really dynamic and really large community events and done an amazing job with making that an appeal to people that they want to be there. And I think people have been really impacted in those events. But we've gotten 50 people at Hope Church several times in the past. And so I think if we are, taking a different stance on this and making it more of that professional level versus that kind of like conversational, informal level, we're not going to be formal, but we're going to be professional in that, kind of venue and approach and marketing and things like that. If we do that, we can, I don't think 250 people is a stretch at all.
And those 50 people were heavily weighted towards the female gender. So guys, if we can step up our game and get more of our kind to come to these events, I mean, right there, we can double the attendance at a lot of these events too. So we're not that far off.
So I kind of touched on a couple of things here already. Lots and lots of healthy happy hours will come out of this event. And there's more to come on that, because we're going to give to you, what does it look like, a healthy happy hour? Like, how do I do this? Like, what's a form? What's a template? We want to make this like copy paste, easy, so that you don't have to wonder, like, how the heck am I going to do this? So we'll talk about that. We'll share some of that with you. But the goal is to have a calendar when we go out of that October event, so that people who come to the event know where they can go next.
And one of the ideas is just to start going through the habits of transformation. Pick one and discuss it at a healthy happy hour. So now when you come, there's a purpose. There's community, there's good conversation, there's healthy food, healthy snacks, but then there's also a purpose, and you come away with something that you didn't attend there with.
Okay. The next piece I want to talk about is table sponsorships. So there's a couple of things: table sponsorships, and then just the regular old bodies and seats. So you're going to have a couple of different opportunities to engage, a couple of different ways to engage with this. And I want to talk about table sponsorships first. So what we are going to do, as Bjorn mentioned, it's going to be $20 a person for a ticket for the event. We are going to have table sponsorship opportunities where what you get to do is take a table of 8 and sponsor it. So the cost for a table of 8 would be $160. We're going to discount that to $150, so give you a little bit of a discount. 2 of those people are yourself and your guest, spouse, co-applicant coach, whoever. But what that sponsorship table does is it gives you an opportunity to go, okay, who's in my inner circle? Who are my clients who really need to coach, who I just see as like being incredible assets to this community? Coaching is an incredible gift to their life, and I want them there. No matter what, I want them there. And so this is an opportunity for you to choose those 6 VIPs, or maybe it's 3 plus a guest for each of them, VIPs that you can reach out to and say, hey, we're having this really dynamic event on October 10th. I have a table sponsored. I want you at it. It's really important to me that you join us. And we'll give you some words for that invitation, because we really want to make sure they understand what the value to them is. That's the key piece. But it's going to be really powerful, I think, for people to hear, like, wow, she or he really wants me there. Like, that's kind of cool. Like, sure, yeah, I would love to be there. That's going to make, an impact on that person. And it's obviously also going to help us kind of build out the event in terms of numbers. But on top of that, we don't want you to stop at that sponsor table. We want you to keep inviting and invite as many as you can. You've got an enormous base to pull from. You've got your pre-clients, clients, any coaches that are on your team that maybe haven't been quite as engaged with coaching. They are people who you want to have at the event that you can invite. And then the other piece is we want people from the community there. We don't want to just limit it to people who we've been having conversations with about their personal health, but we want to open this up to who are the community influencers, who are the people who are in roles that may, and in fact probably do, overlap with what we do, and that there could be a partnership there. And so again, we'll give you some verbiage for that, but be thinking about, who do I know that would really be interested in? That's the piece that I hope you see as a really incredible opportunity. Your pastor, I think about some of the administration at our kids' school that I would love to be there, and people that are influencers or that you care about. Maybe you just want them to hear what you're up to because they know that you're really passionate about this thing, but also maybe there might be some overlap in mission that we could partner together. And then the piece after that, after this all is said and done, is that you're following up and you're having a conversation. What did you think about the event? How did it impact you? What questions do you have? How would you like to take next steps within our community? Would you like to attend a healthy happy hour? Would you like to start your health journey? Would you like to explore coaching? We'll talk about all the follow-up possibilities, but that'll be the important piece too.
And then even as part of this, depending on who attends, I'd love to see some even non-business related things come out of this, just some community impact things. We talked about going to our kids' school and presenting some sort of a nutrition curriculum or something that's a little bit more engaging than maybe what's happening in the schools. There's an unlimited number of people out there that could benefit from this, and even just some of those brainstorm ideas that this big group might come up with, we could motivate people and take some action and really make an impact in our community.
Yep, totally. And that was a big part of the initial conversation, is like, how do we incorporate the community outreach piece? And so that will be a part of this event. And I think that there's a lot to be said about people coming together for their own desires and goals and dreams, but then also to be really just thinking about the needs of others in ways that we can serve without needing or expecting anything in return. Particularly, again, we do that in coaching every day, but especially when we're serving someone who is in no position to give back anything to us.
And that was the whole Healthy Habits for All initiative from Optavia, and the challenge that they gave us at convention to go home and do something like that in your community. You don't expect anything back other than just a healthier community.
Yep. The last thing I want to say, there's going to be a lot of more information to come, as you've gathered from, we keep saying that. This is just kind of the bones of the event. But we are going to run an incentive for the handful of people that bring the most guests, because like I said, it's bodies and seats is what we want to have happen. And we're going to have an incentive where you can earn back your table sponsorship. Bjorn and I are going to sponsor for the top couple people. We're figuring out, we'll finalize the details, but sponsor a community event for you up to $150 value. So you'll get to pick, like, do you want to go to Topgolf? Do you want to go bowling? Do you want to have it at your house? What do you want to do? On us, up to $150.
And that could be a pretty awesome healthy happy hour just to get your little community kicked off.
Yep. Okay. We've gone through a lot of info. We're going to wrap up now. I'm going to hand it over to Angela to share kind of our next steps coming out of here. And we'll sign off. A lot of this we can share in our Facebook message. And just know that there's going to be a lot more information to come. But let me hand it over to Angela. All right, take it away.
All right. The teacher in me is coming out, because now you have your assignment and your action steps. So first of all, here's what we are going to do for you. We're going to provide the invitation, whether it's a save the date or like more of a formal invitation for you to use, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The second thing we're going to do is, like Liz and Bjorn have said, we're going to provide the script and the verbiage so that you have something that's specific to both current clients, your coaches, community members. So it's similar across the board, but yet personalized and tailored to their individual like level of participation or involvement. And then the things that you have to do at this point. So write it down if you're a list taker or a note taker. But by Sunday, you need to decide if you are going to attend the event yourself. Hopefully, yes, you are going to be there. So Sunday, August 11th. Then you need to decide if you are willing to commit to sponsoring a table. And then I want you to start thinking about who you are going to invite. And then we want to know on Sunday as well, what's a realistic number? What's your goal for inviting people? It's like we all set goals with our maps, like how many new clients do you want this month? How many conversations do you want to start? How many people do you want to have at this event? So what Liz is going to do is send out a Google document, hopefully tomorrow, to all of us in this group, like the Facebook message, and then you can fill it out. Take some time to think about it, create your list, create your plan for what you want that event to look like for your group. And then please just turn it in on Sunday. That way we kind of can plan from there. The other thing I would think about is to really expand your group of people. You know, like you might have your people who always show up to healthy happy hours, but really think kind of outside the box. And that's what Liz was talking about too, with the other people in the community and people who you're like, gosh, I don't know quite how to reach out to them in another way. This might be it. So hopefully that will kind of give you some action steps moving forward. Of course, if you have any questions, reach out in the group chat. We will, be dialoguing a lot about this, but we're super excited. Josh is too. I made him come here and just be eye candy, I guess, because he didn't contribute anything. But,
I just got done mowing the lawn,
yeah.
So unfortunately you can't smell me.
So that's what we've got for you.
So eye candy, not nose candy, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to just go to gallery because, hello, this Zoom is so annoying. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop share here in just a second, or stop the recording rather in just a second. If anybody wants to stay on and chat and ask questions, please do. As we've said several times, lots more information to come. But the key thing for tonight and the next couple days that I want to encourage you with, and by the way, I feel better now that I'm in gallery, seeing people that are also outside. We were like whispering when Angela was talking, it is too dark. What were we thinking? We won't do that again. But the number one thing for now is just be thinking about people, right? That's what we should always be doing. But who are the people? Who are the people on your heart? Who are the people that you want at this event? Make the list. You know, I would even start with not even looking at your client list or your health assessments that you've done or pre-clients or whatever, but just start with from your heart and make a list. And then obviously review those names and put those names on there. But be really thoughtful and intentional and prayerful, if that's, you know, something that you do, towards who you desire to just have this opportunity to learn more. Like Bjorn said, there's no sales pitch. There's no like hook at the end. It's purely just to serve people so that they have the opportunity to know what we're all about, because that's what convention is, right? That's what we all got to walk away with, and we want to allow people to walk away with that same. And then they just, you know, as Dr. A has so wisely set us all up to live in this, you know, really autonomy-oriented place, they get to decide from there what they want to do. And we know that there's lots of opportunities. So I'm going to stop share now. I'll be thinking about your list. And then that Google Doc will come out. And one thing I want to really emphasize is that the idea with the Google Doc, like this is not, we're not your boss. We're not here to tell you what you have to do. We're here to give you an opportunity, and we're here to encourage you to set a goal. Because like I said, the more that we put into this, the more we get out of it. And if we can raise the bar for ourselves and, you know, get excited about that incentive, like Sarah said, I love that, like have some little like friendly, healthy competition, and just use this as an opportunity to push yourself a little bit in terms of what you, don't sandbag. When I used to work at Best Buy and I did like forecasting stuff for businesses, like people would set goals that they like knew they could blow out of the water. Like, don't do that. Like set a stretch goal, set a goal that like feels a little scary. Like Bjorn and I talked about this last night, and we had to identify like, okay, how much room is in this room and all of that stuff. And I was like, 250. The goal is 250. And that was like, that's like a scary goal for us. And we're obviously going to be contributing and making our own list and all that stuff. But anyways, so just know that Google form that we're going to send out for people to fill out, yes, the numbers are very, very helpful for us. And so we do need and appreciate that. But the goal, you know, is not to make you do anything. The goal is just to kind of say, hey, how do you want to push yourself here? How do you want to expand your impact by just being bold and inviting and setting a goal for yourself that maybe is a little scary. So thank you everyone for coming tonight. I'll stop recording and hang around if you want to ask questions. Have a good night.